Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to unpack the life of someone who is, without a doubt, one of the modern era's most fascinating and complex figures, Imran Khan. We're tracing a journey that literally starts on a 22-yard strip of dirt and somehow ends up in the highest corridors of geopolitical power. It's an incredible story about raw talent, relentless drive, and just absolute metamorphosis.
Can a man be both the nation's greatest, most unifying sporting hero and its most deeply polarizing, controversial figure at the exact same time? It sounds impossible, right? Usually, you're one or the other. But to really understand this man, we have to look at a life lived at the absolute extremes of public adoration and intense scrutiny.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for bridging his elite sports career right through to his high-stakes geopolitical journey. 1. The making of a legend. 2. Mastering the game. 3. Triumphs on the pitch. 4. The art of controversy. 5. The political metamorphosis. And 6. The 5 pillars of his legacy. Let's get going.
Part 1. The making of a legend, from raw fast bowler to national icon.
Let's move to and see how this builds across a timeline. Born back in 1952 in Lahore, Imran was a quiet, athletic kid who later went on to be educated at Oxford. His raw talent on the pitch showed up early. He made his Test debut as a teenager on June 3, 1971, against England. Now, he did struggle a bit with consistency at first, but he worked relentlessly on his mechanics. He made his ODI debut on August 31, 1974, and then by 1982, he was appointed captain of Pakistan. That role really defined his legacy, leading all the way up to his historic final match and retirement on March 25, 1992.
Section 2. Mastering the game. The methods of a champion.
His playing style was absolutely revolutionary. First off, he transformed himself into a fearsome right-arm fast bowler. He'd generate terrifying pace off this live, bounding leap. But more importantly, he became a pioneering master of reverse swing. By manipulating the aerodynamics of an older ball at breakneck speeds, he got it to swerve late and viciously, throwing down these completely unplayable in-swinging Yorkers. But he wasn't just a bowler. He evolved into a really compact, indispensable middle-order batsman too. And his captaincy? Super inspirational, aggressive, and highly tactical. He managed to instill massive discipline into a team that was often divided by big egos. So the crucial point is the pure, undeniable data backing up this dominance. Look at this. In 88 tests, he scored over 3,800 runs and took 362 wickets. Over in his 175 ODIs, he totally mirrored that excellence. He achieved the incredibly rare all-rounders double of 3,000 runs and 300 wickets in Test cricket, dominating the 1980s alongside absolute legends like Ian Botham, Richard Hadley, and Kapil Dev. But what really sets him apart is his late career peak. In his last 10 years, he averaged a sensational 51 with the bat and 19 with the ball. Honestly, it was like having two world-class players packed into one body.
Moving to Part 3. Triumphs on the pitch. A legacy of victory.
When you have those kinds of elite methods, the victories inevitably follow. Take 79%, for example. That's his astonishing one-day international win ratio as a captain against arch-rival India. That's 19 wins out of 24 matches. In fact, he never lost a single test match to India as a captain. During the 1982 to 1983 home series, he put on an absolute masterclass, taking 40 wickets at a jaw-dropping average of 13.95. He literally dismantled the opposition. Alongside players like Javed Miandad, Imran transformed Pakistan into an invincible force, leading to a historic 1987 series victory right on Indian soil.
And then, of course, came his magnum opus, the 1992 World Cup in Australia. Picture this. He's 39 years old, coming out of retirement, battling injuries, leading a bruised Pakistani side that had won only one of their first 5 matches. It looked grim. But then, he delivers the iconic Cornered Tiger speech. He tells his young, raw team, which included future legends like Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis, to go out and fight like tigers with absolutely nothing to lose. Against all odds, they surged to the final, where Imran actually promoted himself up the order, top scored with 72 runs, and they defeated England. It was just the ultimate fairy tale climax.
Part 4. The art of controversy. The shadows off the pitch.
Now, absolute greatness rarely exists without some friction. His extreme drive to win often pushed boundaries. For instance, he openly admitted to altering the condition of the ball to achieve that devastating reverse swing we talked about earlier.
He pointed out the extreme pragmatism in this, noting that at the time, there was actually no specific law explicitly preventing him from doing so on those notoriously lifeless pitches in Pakistan. It really highlights a recurring theme in his life, this willingness to utilize whatever means necessary to achieve an end goal, even if it totally ruffled the feathers of cricket traditionalists.
Off the pitch, his personal life was subjected to massive, highly polarized scrutiny as well. In her published memoir, his ex-wife, Imran Khan, made some explosive allegations regarding his private life. She claimed there was a history of extensive drug use, particularly cocaine, and a lifestyle that starkly contrasted with his public image. Regardless of the veracity of these claims, we have to look at them because they underscore the intense, often chaotic media storm that has perpetually surrounded his personal affairs over the years.
Section 5. The Political Metamorphosis. From Pitch to Parliament.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast highlighted by modern scholars regarding his shifting public personas. Following his retirement, he underwent one of the most radical public transformations you can imagine. In his early years, he was known as the English Imran, a suave, Oxford-educated fixture of high society London. But when he stepped into the grueling arena of national politics, he evolved into the political Imran. He adopted this populist, born-again, traditionalist mindset, regularly donning the shalwar kameez and championing a welfare state model to build up his base. Understanding this metamorphosis is totally key to seeing how he bridged such vastly different demographics.
As he built that political base, he had to navigate incredibly complex and polarizing issues. He drew heavy criticism, and even the moniker Taliban Khan, for his stances advocating dialogue over military action during events like the Lal Masjid siege. His political maneuvering regarding the Ahmadi minority issue also drew intense national debate. On top of that, his highly pragmatic decision to embrace traditional political electables, these are politicians who routinely switch loyalties but essentially guarantee votes, well, that shocked the purists who remembered his earlier, strictly ideological anti-corruption platform. Ultimately, he became a leader deeply defined by extreme political polarization.
Part 6. 5 Pillars of Legacy, Summarizing the Man. So, how do we encapsulate a life full of such massive contradictions and monumental achievements? And this brilliantly illustrates it through 5 core pillars. First, a revolutionary pioneer who changed fast bowling forever. Second, the ultimate inspirational cornered tiger leader, capable of willing a broken team to a World Cup victory. Third, an elite all-arounder who mastered every discipline of his sport. Fourth, a charismatic, highly pragmatic figure shadowed by intense personal and professional controversies. And fifth, a relentless political force who undeniably transformed the entire landscape of his nation. I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Does achieving absolute greatness, whether that means willing a team to a World Cup against impossible odds, or rising to the absolute highest political office, does it inevitably require the kind of extreme pragmatism that ends up dividing a nation? It's a fascinating question, and one that the extraordinary metamorphosis of Imran Khan really forces us to consider. Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next explainer.